Burrow airs it out. Chase. Hello. Touchdown.
And I got a voice inside that needs to be fed.
Are two of the best historically, just not thus far. Against these receivers.
Making the judgments again, and there is Smith roaming free, breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Ohio Sports Talk. I am your host, Doug. That's the coach, Jordan Maxson. Jordan, how the hell you doing tonight, buddy?
We're doing great, brother. I finally got my headgear in for Ohio Sports Talk, the official hat here. So doing great there. Had a day off today, got a few things done. Everything's doing good, man. Getting ready for track. Kids getting ready for all that stuff. I got one playing softball, so we will see how it goes. How are things in your neck of the woods?
Doing good. I am now officially, I didn't know if I was or not, I'm going to be the coach of Bronson's flag football team. So that is another wrinkle in the system. I didn't think I was, and now come to find out I am. But we're going to make that work as best we can. I might be calling on you to help a little bit there. I know you're going to be busy, but I might be calling on a little help there from you.
We are here for this.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun summer. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, Jordan. We've got a ton to talk about tonight, a ton to do tonight, Jordan. Obviously, we are going to be talking March Madness. We're going to be filling out our bracket together tonight. You and I, the duo, back at it. You've already told me that you're taking Texas farther than I ever could imagine Texas going in this tournament. So we're going to have some interesting insights here. I'm excited for it, Jordan. And then we've got the Bengals, massive news. They broke the bank. The Cavs, we're going to do a little recap here about the recent weeks. State of the program for the Dayton Flyers and the Ohio State Buckeyes basketball programs. And then news and notes to round out the show. Jordan, loaded episode tonight. I'm feeling good. I'm hoping you're ready to go, man. I'm pumped up. You ready to get into the show?
Let's rock and roll, baby.
All right, here we go, guys. Live bracket tonight. Jordan, looking at the bracket from top to bottom, we know the one seeds, we know all the players, we know all the information there. Is there a team that you like? Before we look at the bracket, is there a team going into this that you really like? Some of you think is maybe a team that you're going to take far? Is there somebody that sticks out to you? Roger chimes in from the Red Hot Reds. You see all the way, ... Oh, wait. Great start. Thank you, Roger. But Jordan, who do you got?
Lay off the green beer, Roger. Lay off the green beer, brother. No, I don't think Michigan's a bad team.
Yeah.
It pains me as an Ohio State fan to say that out loud, but we know we get what we played for. Texas Tech has me interested. Missouri would be kind of a wild card for me to make it into the round of 32 or even the Sweet 16. But those are the teams that us living in the Midwest, these are the teams I was able to see outside of our regular fan base and the teams that we kind of chit chat about. But what about you? What stands out for you?
Right off the top of my head, when I saw the bracket, and it's going to be very difficult. The SEC is extremely deep. I thought to myself, I like Houston. I like Houston a lot. I like their style of basketball. I like the way they defend. I like the way they are able to switch everything. They've got big guards. They've got a great scorer in Cryer. They've got everything that it takes to win in March. And a good solid coach who my dad absolutely hates, which is hilarious. So quick shout out to Calvin Simpson. But I like what the Houston team looks like this year. So I'm excited to see what they put together. But it's going to be a fun tournament, Jordan. There is a lot of good basketball teams this year. I'm ready to get into it. What about you?
Let's dive in, man. This is what it's all about for college basketball. You finally get to the month of March. you wrap the regular season, you fight hard through the conference tournaments, and these are the ones wearing the crown. So let's dive deep.
All right, here we go, Jordan. We're going to switch over here, and we're going to bring up the bracket. Jordan, first game, we're going to do the top half first here. Hopefully everybody can see that at home. Comment, let us know. Make sure you can see the bracket and as we go through it. First game's first, Jordan. Auburn versus the 16 seed. Those two 16 seeds are playing at Dayton on Tuesday or Wednesday. Jordan, I'm assuming we're taking Auburn here. Vercorrect?
This is correct. We do not have any differences on this one.
All right. This is going to be an interesting one. The 8 versus 9 matchup. Louisville versus Creighton. What are your thoughts here?
I think it's more evenly matched than what some other analysts kind of fish out there. But I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm going to give Louisville a semi-upset.
Oh, you think Louisville's an upset? They're the higher rated team.
I know they're the higher rated team, but I've been able to see kind of what Creighton's all about. And but I think it's going to be a tough one. So give me Louisville on this one.
All right, we'll go Louisville. I think that's good. I like that one. Then a team that you mentioned before we got started here, Jordan, Michigan Wolverines versus UC San Diego. UC San Diego, a team who was 30-4 this year, has the longest win streak in college basketball, I believe. But Jordan, in my opinion, Michigan coming off the Big Ten championship, I think they're going to be more than ready for this one. Any complaints here going with Michigan?
Not at all. This just backs up my earlier statements.
Of course. Next on our agenda, Texas A&M versus Yale, Jordan. Yale with a great season, won their league. But Texas A&M, big, physical, good rebounding team. Do you think they overwhelm Yale? Do you give Yale a shot? What are your thoughts here?
I don't think they overwhelm Yale. I think it's going to be competitive, but just in the second half, talent and experience is going to rule the day here. So I can't pick for Yale overall.
Okay, we're going to go Texas A&M here. I agree. This is an interesting one, Jordan. Ole Miss versus either San Diego State or UNC. Now, San Diego State and UNC obviously should be an interesting game here at UD Arena coming up in the next few days. What are your thoughts? Is there you're picking one of the 11 seeds to pull an upset here on Ole Miss? What are you predicting?
One, I'll just put it out there. I didn't believe UNC deserved a spot over some of the other teams that missed out on the field, just resume wise. I know they're a name brand team.
Yeah,
and
they are.
Name brand teams bring money and viewership. So we see what you did there. You put them in Dayton, but I don't think UNC. I think UNC wins that game, but I don't see UNC pulling this off.
So we're going Ole Miss here.
Going Ole Miss.
All right, I love it.
SEC continues dominance.
Iowa State versus Lipscomb. Iowa State is a team that Dayton played very well earlier in the year. Jordan, they are getting their two of their best players back after injury that kind of prevented them from really competing for the Big 12 championship in the tournament. Jordan, who do you think here? Iowa State, Lipscomb. Not ready for an upset, are we?
No, I think Iowa State gets their revenge tour with a healthy team started.
All right, next game. This is an interesting one. The 7 versus 10 game. Marquette, a team Dayton beat, but they struggled a little bit to close out the year versus New Mexico, a team from the Mountain West. They've got a good player in their guard, Dent. It should be a fun matchup with him and Cam Jones. Jordan, in my opinion, I think Marquette overwhelms them in terms of their overall size and ability. Do you have anything different?
No, I think Marquette wins this by 10.
I like that. Okay, here we go. 600 live viewers. Thank you to everybody who's checking out the show tonight. I know we're doing something a little bit different here, filling out the bracket live. I'm going to give you guys the details on the Ohio Sports Talk Bracket Madness. $5 a bracket. We'll be giving you the information here at the end of the live picks. Jordan, we're going Michigan State here, correct? Over Bryant?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's jump over to the other side here. Alabama versus Robert Morris. Robert Morris won the Horizon League, beating Youngstown State. We got to be Alabama here. There's just no way Robert Morris can keep up scoring with a team as good as Alabama. Next, St. Mary's in the 7-10 game versus Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was a team that I didn't think was going to get in, Jordan, but they squeezed their way in at a 10 seed. Didn't expect that. In my opinion, Jordan, St. Mary's was the best team in the WCC this year. They did lose to Gonzaga in the championship game, but those two teams just battle their asses off. Do you see Vanderbilt being able to upset St. Mary's?
No, this is where I kind of start to pull away from the SEC here. Give me St. Mary's.
Hell yeah. Okay, Wisconsin versus Montana. Wisconsin lost to Michigan in the Big Ten championship. Wisconsin with what is his name? Tanjay. Tanjay is an NBA player for sure. I've got Wisconsin here. We're not gonna pull any punches here. We've got Wisconsin winning this one. Next is an interesting game, Jordan. BYU versus VCU. BYU, a great basketball team, well coached. Out of the Big 12, VCU, the winner of the A-10, they wouldn't have gotten in, Jordan, if they didn't win the A-10 tournament. So that was interesting, hearing that from the committee. What are your thoughts here? We going upset early, or to me, I like what VCU can do. I think BYU is well coached enough, and they're good enough on the guard positions to play with VCU and win this game. But what are your thoughts? I'm willing to go with you on this one.
I was leaning towards VCU because one, we've seen him in action more than we want, but that's life in the Atlantic 10. But oh my God, the madness has to stop in this household. But
I love it. Oh, that's great.
This is what I live with. But let's see. But no, I think VCU tonight's not the night. I think VCU is just more talented and a more fast-paced team than BYU. BYU is stronger defensively than probably anything that VCU's faced in the Atlantic 10, so I will say that out loud.
Whoa, go Flyers, babe. Come on. Go Flyers, buddy. Come on.
I believe pace. I believe pace wins the day, and I think just that this matchup, I just feel like VCU is going to run the floor late in the second half. Give me VCU by 6.
All right, we're going to go VCU. I probably, in my personal bracket, not the Ohio sports bracket, will go with BYU. I like what they've done this year, and I like the way they put together the roster. But I don't, VCU, after watching them play, 2 times against Dayton and then in the tournament, they're on a heater. So Arizona versus Akron. Hey, shout out to the Zips for making the tournament. Shout out to them for winning the MAC. Jordan, Arizona is an absolute wagon. They've got a damn good basketball team. This is no disrespect to the Zips. I don't think they can hang with Arizona.
No, this is where the dream ends for the MACtion champions.
Hell of a year from the MAC, though, dude.
No,
hell of a year from the MAC.
I'm not, like you said, professionally, not going to take anything away from the conference. They played a hell of a year. They played hell head-to-head battles. Right here in our own backyard in Ohio. But I just think, like you said, this is going to be bigger. This is going to be, bigger than a lot of what they've ever played, and it's big. It's going to the big house, and I don't see it happening.
Roger, please don't mock my Dayton Flyers, you asshole. We'll be talking about the state of the program here later. Jordan, moving on. Oregon versus Liberty. We've got Oregon, correct?
It's not strong. We have Oregon 100%.
Okay, Baylor versus Mississippi State. One of the better games in this East region, in my opinion. Baylor, a good freshman, and VJ Edgecomer. Mississippi State, a good SEC team. I'm probably leaning Baylor, Jordan. Where are you leaning here?
I'm with you there. My personal bracket and this bracket will reflect I have Baylor in this one.
And I'm not going to ask you. Corey would be very upset if we took Duke to somehow miraculously lose that game. Let's get into the next round here. Auburn versus Louisville. I got Auburn here. I think they've got a damn good team. I think they just kind of got a little tired there at the end of the SEC tournament. But I've got Auburn winning this game, Jordan. Any complaints here against Louisville?
No, we both see eye to eye on this one.
Okay, Michigan versus Texas A&M. I'm willing to ride with you on your Michigan pick.
Man, this is a toss-up, though. But I have to. I made my statement.
I was going to say you said it.
This is as far. I know it's still in there.
It hurts.
But this is as far as I have Michigan going. Okay. So I got to go with Michigan.
All right. Ole Miss versus Iowa State. Ole Miss, a good basketball team. Iowa State, if they're healthy, though, Jordan, if they can get back to where they believe they can with their guards and everybody playing, I think Iowa State wins this game. Any complaints?
Not at all, sir.
Okay, and then we've got Marquette versus Michigan State. Michigan State, kind of a surprising season. You know, they were one of the best teams in the Big Ten this year, weren't really projected to be there. Marquette, a team that was very competitive in the Big East, like I said, fell off a little bit at the end there. What's your pick here? Michigan State, Marquette, Jordan?
Give me the Big Ten, Doug. We're Big Ten guys. I'm confident that Michigan State is going to handle business. Marquette is a good team, but this is where the dance ends.
Okay, and then we've got Alabama versus St. Mary's, Jordan. St. Mary's, like we said, damn good basketball team. Alabama just scores a shit ton of points in a variety of ways. For me, I think the athleticism and the ability of the Alabama offense will outscore St. Mary's. How do you feel?
I agree. Alabama plays that kind of two-platoon ball. Scoring comes from both the bench and the starters. Everybody kind of pitches in, and that's just going to propel them to the next round.
All right, Wisconsin, VCU, Jordan. Does the VCU run end here?
I got to go Big Ten here. I think Wisconsin just has the size and the rebounding, and it's gonna come down to the glass, and Wisconsin's gonna get it done.
Okay, Arizona versus Oregon. Like I said, Jordan, I watched the Arizona and the Houston Big 12 championship game. I came away impressed immensely with Arizona. I think they are a damn good basketball team. I have Arizona beating Oregon here. Any backlash?
No, you've ridden with me in a couple of my decisions, so let's ride on the West here. Give us Arizona.
Okay, so Duke and Baylor here. I think Duke wins this game, and I don't know the health of Cooper Flagg yet, but I don't think the health of Cooper Flagg affects Duke until the next round game. Are you good with that?
I'm 100% good with that.
All right, cool.
Let's get him here.
All right, Auburn, Michigan.
This is as far as I have Michigan going.
Yeah,
I
say let's
Auburn
here.
But no,
should be a good game.
I think it's going to be competitive. This, like I said, this to me with the 64 teams this year, I think has been more. I won't say even, but just you feel like it's going to be one of the more competitive tournaments probably in the last 5 or 6 seasons, in my opinion. So. But give me Auburn. You know, they've done well in SEC. The SEC, iron sharpening iron over there. It's not over for them.
Okay, and then we're moving to the game, Iowa State versus Michigan State. Give me your thoughts there.
Doug, this kind of teeter-totters me a little bit. I like Iowa State's play, but like you said, Michigan State kind of came statistically out of nowhere given the season previous. But I don't think the dream is over. Give me Michigan State here. Give me Michigan State by 4, and I think it comes down to the free throw line. All
right, Wisconsin versus Alabama, Jordan. I'm still riding with Alabama's offense. I don't think Wisconsin can stop them.
I'm in the basketball world. I can say this. In football, I will never say this. Continue to roll the tide, Doug.
Oh, I didn't know you were going that far. Is that treason, Ohio? Is that Ohio treason? That felt like treason. Okay,
maybe if the Buckeyes go to the tournament, we wouldn't be talking like.
We'll talk about that very soon. State of the program. We'll talk about it soon. Duke versus Arizona. This is where I think the health of Cooper Flagg would be interesting. If he's not able to play, this is where I think Duke could be tripped up. If he is playing, I think Duke wins this game. Is that fair to say?
100%.
I'm assuming high ankle sprain, Jordan. That would give us a full extra week to heal up the ankle. I think he's probably going to play at least by now. So we're going Duke, correct?
Oh, Duke, correct on this one. And I even think that, even if it comes down to some kind of medication, icing,
Jordan. Medication. This is a family program. We only drop F-bombs every so often.
You gotta get that needle out sometimes.
No, I'm with you there. I think what you're getting at is correct. I definitely
the training staff's gonna get him ready.
Yeah, I mean he's got it. I understand he's a guy who's going to be the first round pick of the NCAA tournament here, the NBA draft. Jordan, he's going to be the first pick, but I think a guy like him still cares enough about an NCAA championship potentially. I think he's going to get back, and I think he's going to be playing at least by this game. So give me Duke to win this one, and that sets up an interesting matchup here in the top in the Elite Eight, Jordan. The Elite Eight. Auburn versus Michigan State, Duke versus Alabama. We got SEC versus Big Ten. Thoughts? Let's go Auburn, Michigan State first. I know who I'm leaning towards. Who do you pick in this one?
I think the Cinderella story ends for Michigan State. Give me Auburn to go to the.
I'm going Auburn also. This game is very intriguing for me in the Eastern bracket. Duke versus Alabama. Can Duke handle Alabama's offense? Can they slow down Alabama's offense? Duke has been a great defensive team when they're healthy this year. This is interesting, Jordan. Where are we going here? We're so high. Take us where you want us. Where you want Ohio Sports Talk to go.
You're putting the pressure on me.
I know.
The pressure on me. So
don't forget, we're putting in $10 for our bracket for this one, and then obviously our individual brackets will put in $5 per bracket. But where are we going here, buddy? Duke or Alabama?
I gotta go with Alabama. I think.
Whoa! I love it.
I think. What do you feel? I mean, you've talked.
I like it. I like it. I think Duke's got a good enough defense to slow him down, though. I think I would have went Duke, but I'm willing to ride with you.
I'm willing to flip the switch.
Oh, we're flipping. Well, then we're flipping the switch. We're going Duke.
Let's go Duke.
We're going Duke. All right, let's get to the bottom half. So far, we have Auburn and Duke in our final four. Jordan, Florida versus Norfolk. No need to discuss. We're gonna get Houston on the 116 matchup over here, and we're gonna drop down and get our 2 versus 15 matchups here. We're not pulling upsets this year, guys. I think we're going chalk with those ones. Now let's get into it. UConn versus Oklahoma. What are you thinking?
I'm feeling UConn.
I'm feeling UConn also.
Early in the season, early in the tournament.
Memphis versus Colorado State. Memphis, one of their better players, is an injury concern, but they have one of the best individual players in the tournament in Haggerty. I've got Memphis holding off Colorado State here in a game that I think should be a fun one to watch.
No, I agree with you there.
Okay.
My thoughts are similar. I think Memphis will rock it.
Maryland versus Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon, an interesting story in the NCAA tournament. But Maryland, a team who has competed very well in the ACC, they have an excellent freshman. I'm going to go Maryland here. I think Grand Canyon can give them a game, Jordan, but I don't think they can beat them.
No,
fair?
I agree with you there. That's fair.
And then Missouri versus Drake. You already harped on Missouri as being a little bit of a wild card here, a team that could go a little further than we think. I would go Missouri here also.
Yes.
Next game, Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington. Texas Tech, very good. I like Texas Tech a lot.
Moving on.
Kansas versus Arkansas. This is an interesting game. Kansas has kind of stunk all year, but Arkansas hasn't been great either. Battle of the Kansases. Where are we going?
Dude, I just feel like Kansas is on a redemption tour, but
what? They suck.
But from sucking. This is a redemption tour.
I don't think see. Here's the thing. I don't think you can magically turn around how bad they've played this year. Overall,
let's go Arkansas.
I like the upset. I think it's a fun upset because I don't think either team beats St. John's.
That's 100%.
Okay, then let's move to the other side. Utah State versus UCLA. UCLA, so in the Big Ten this year, but Mick Cronin, a great coach. Can you see an upset here at all? Oops, I didn't mean to click that one already. UCLA versus Utah State.
I think I've watched enough UCLA to believe that they'll get through this.
Okay. I don't think we need to discuss Kentucky and Troy. Illinois versus the winner of Texas and Xavier. Jordan, I'll tell you right now, the one thing I like about Texas is they have a freshman who can score 30 points in a game. I don't think they're good enough overall to beat Xavier and Illinois in a matter of a couple of days. I'm going to go Illinois here.
I'm with you.
For your bracket, I'd love to see you take Texas as far as you can. Purdue versus High Point. I got to go Purdue here. A team we've watched quite a few times. They're not as good as they've been in recent years, but I think Braden Smith, with his experience, should be able to lead them to a victory over High Point. And then Clemson versus McNeese.
They have experienced upperclassmen over in Purdue, so I'm happy with that.
Clemson versus McNeese. McNeese is a good basketball team. for one of the low for a mid-major. But Clemson, one of the better teams in the ACC, they beat Duke this year. I've got Clemson winning this one.
As do I, sir.
Georgia Gonzaga. Are you ready to write off Gonzaga this season? Because I am not.
You believe in them?
I believe that they can beat Georgia. I would not pick them over Houston. No. Georgia. I think they beat Georgia.
Let's roll with it.
Okay, let me ask you this: can Gonzaga beat Houston? Do you think they can beat Houston this year?
No.
Okay, we're going Houston then. Do you think UConn can beat Florida this year?
I don't believe so, no, sir.
Okay, Clemson versus Purdue. This is a fun matchup. I'm leaning Clemson, Jordan. Where are you going?
I want to be a Big Ten guy, but I feel Clemson in a short amount of time. I've got to watch them a little bit this year.
Memphis versus Maryland. I'm willing to flip back to the Big Ten here. I like Maryland a lot.
Let's roll.
Okay. Texas Tech versus Missouri. Two teams that you mentioned earlier, Jordan. What do we got?
It's
I'm going Texas Tech.
Let's rock with the Red Raiders.
All right. On the other side, Kentucky versus Illinois. I think Kentucky, if they get healthy, they can make some noise in this tournament. I'm going Kentucky.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Kentucky would handle Illinois.
Tennessee versus UCLA.
Give me Tennessee. I don't.
Okay.
That's where their dream stops.
Okay, Texas Tech versus St. John's. Jordan, for me, I would go Texas Tech here.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Kentucky versus Tennessee. Big Blue Nation. Pull an upset here.
Let's rock with the tri-state area.
Okay, Houston versus Clemson. I'm still rolling my Houston guys. Is that safe with you?
Oh.
And then Florida versus Maryland. Florida?
The SEC prevails.
Okay, Houston versus Kentucky. And then Florida versus Texas Tech. What do we got?
I think Kentucky gets it done. Do you think Houston rolls it?
I would pick Houston in the matchup just because of their defense and the way they can frustrate Kentucky. And I worry about Kentucky's health, but I would take Houston in this one.
All right, we'll take Houston.
I will let you pick the Florida versus Texas Tech game.
I'm going with the Red Raiders.
Okay. All right. Auburn versus Texas Tech. Duke versus Houston. Let's hear it.
I've got Auburn.
Okay.
Over Texas Tech,
and then Duke versus Houston.
I'm gonna let you pull that out.
I'm gonna go Houston, and then who wins it? I'll let you pick the winner.
I think Houston pulls it.
Oh wow! How many points in that game?
Let's say 72-66.
So
Houston.
That's, what is that, 138? Something like that. All right, well, let's submit our bracket, Jordan. It's in there, obviously. Oh, I've got to give all this stupid information. No thanks. All right. We're gonna we'll save that for later, Jordan. Let's get back to fun stuff there, Jordan. Obviously, we've got some more information coming out. Jordan, we obviously talked about it and we posted the other day. We are doing the bracket challenge. We've got it already on ESPN. We've got it mocked up and everything. Here's a picture of it. You know, the Ohio Sports Talk Bracket Madness. We've already got about 10 people entered. So, you know, the money's coming in. We're going to pay out the first three positions. You know, third place gets their money back. Second place gets a little bit extra. And then first place takes the majority of the winnings. But if you want to get in the Ohio Sports Talk, Bracket Madness, send us a message, send us a DM. We've got Venmo, we've got PayPal, we've got Apple Pay. We can take a hard copy. We'll take cash. We just want to get a big group and we want to have a good time.
I've got Cash App too for those that need to dabble in it.
So, you know, hit us up. We can obviously, you know, we'd love to have as many people as possible. You have to have your bracket in either online, which we have the link to. We'll repost that a couple times this week. Or, you know, you can send in your hard copy via email to me, ohio.sports.talk35@gmail.com. It's going to be fun, Jordan. I just wanted to get that in there before we moved on, okay? That was really fun. Really fun to do that live, Jordan, but we've got a lot to talk about. Let's transition to something a little bit more hard-hitting. The Bengals break the bank, Jordan. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, locked up. How are we feeling, dude? How are we feeling?
Doug, it was always part of the plan.
Oh,
no.
It was always part of the plan.
Anybody that's watched our program through the last 2 weeks, hell no, that's not the way I felt. But it makes sense. You know, he fired the old agents. T. Higgins, let me put the name on it. Fired his agency, teamed with Jamar Chase's agency to be a package deal in Cincinnati. We got the tag news a couple weeks ago. Things were looking pretty grim and bleak. But Doug, I think the local media outlets and even outlets like you and me, I feel like we were heard. I feel like the fan base was heard through social media outlets, through different podcasts, and I think that might have had something to do with it, because all of a sudden, bam, we get this news. I didn't want to break it. There were a lot of people, Saturday night going into Sunday that were, kind of posting a little bit before
premature,
we were.
a little premature.
But I needed to see it to believe it, because if you've been an Ohio fan of any pro sports team long enough in this area, you got to see it. But Roger, it was about damn time. But Doug, I'm good with it. This brings me back to the times when obviously the dollars are bigger, but the times we've had Chad Johnson, we've had Hushman Zada, we had AJ Green paired up with Marvelous Marvin Jones, and everybody got contracts, and it finally fits the mold to what Cincinnati's used to doing. We've always paid our weapons historically, and it's really good to see it. How do you feel as an AFC North outsider looking in right now?
I think it's a lot of money, Jordan, and I think that's fair, because I think if you guys get this done a year earlier, you save, $10-15 million. And
easily.
That's something you can look back on and say, the front office, yes, they got it done. Congratulations. A big kudos is deserved here, because, they got it done when they needed to, and they locked down two of their best players and two of the best receivers in the NFL, like we talked about last week. Jordan, I think T. Higgins is making just under $29 million a year going forward, and then Jamar Chase is hitting that, and he's hitting that record-setting money. The 4 years, $161 million extension. That's just at 40.25 a year for him. Insane money. I mean, they're making damn near $70 million combined together. On the outside looking in, it looks like that's a lot of money for two guys, but with the way the Bengals have their money right now, they still have an opportunity to go out and re-sign Trey Hendrickson. And that's what it sounds like the focus of the front office is going to. I hope they give him a shit ton of money and you guys kind of run out of money going forward as a Browns fan. But as somebody who watches you guys and gets to see a decent amount of games, this had to be done. It should have happened sooner. It had to be done. Kudos to the Bengals front office for getting it done. Two phenomenal football players are signed for the next 4 years to the Bengals. Joe Burrow gets what he wants, and now focus can be shifted to the O-line, to getting Hendrickson done, to getting some of these other, get some veterans in, and you've got to draft well, Jordan. Look,
that's where we suck.
You've got the great players locked down. You can go out and get your vets now and fill out your roster that way, but you've also got to hit these draft picks, because they're under those rookie contracts that are affordable, and they help you for the next 4 years, along with paying Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, potentially T. Higgins. That's where you have to really nail it when you make these big, big contract splashes. So any other thoughts here, Jordan? And we're kind of just waiting on that Hendrickson news, if it's going to drop. And then, the band's back together, and you guys are, all steam ahead for hopefully a Super Bowl run if you're a Bengals fan.
We're if we don't get any guards, we're all steam ahead for the third 9-7 season. But I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Outside looking in right now, it's Cody Ford and Cordell Volson. Those names don't change.
Those guys are good players.
Yeah, if you're Myles Garrett, they're great players. But
$40 million. The price. What the best part about this, Jordan, is the price can no longer go up. You have paid the price, Jordan,
nice.
And the price can no longer go up. Let's take some solace and the fact that the price can no longer go up, Jordan.
I mean, hopefully the
damn.
Reds are looking at this, but
let's not put that out there, because until Ellie gets paid, we are on eggshells. Let's transition, Jordan. The Bengals, again, kudos to the front office. I know you're happier than you were last week because this finally got done, and the weapons are there for Joe Burrow long term. Next on our agenda, guys, Cavs recap. Jordan, this team stinks. These guys are awful. What
are we doing?
Fire Kenny Atkinson. Get him out of here. No, I'm joking, everybody. 16-game win streak. They got beat by the Magic last night. The guys just went cold in the fourth quarter, Jordan. Donnie, and not everybody. Garland was playing good in the fourth quarter. Donnie could not hit a shot. Hunter missed a big three in the corner. Jared Allen missed a layup. It just didn't go. They just couldn't get shots to go late in that fourth quarter, Jordan. They lose 108-103 to put an end to the 16-game win streak. You know, the skies are not falling. This team's damn good.
Yes.
They've got the best record in the league. They're number one in the East by 8.5, 9 games still. Jordan, just, give me your quick thoughts on the 16-game winning streak and, last night's game, if you want to touch on that one.
Well, the streak, Doug, amazing. We're getting it done on the bench. We're getting it done with the starters. Like you said, Donnie's missed some time during the streak. Garland's missed some time due to rest during the streak. Mobley has missed a few. So they're getting it done from player to player to player. Everybody stepped up when they needed to. The minutes are still being distributed the correct way from Kenny Atkinson. That the offense, the defense looks great. And, we're the number one scoring, I believe, number one and number two scoring. I believe we're number one as of last week. That could fluctuate.
Scoring differential, we are behind OKC right now. But
OKC right now.
Offensive points per game, we are the number one offensive points per game team.
One offensive points per game. I wasn't sure because I know OKC kind of went off the other night. But yeah, Doug, this is it's not recap this game. It's not time to hit the panic button.
No,
we said the stuff like this would happen on our previous program. Fatigue, call it what you want it. Evan Mobley was out. Mm-hmm. Obviously a big difference maker there. Jared Allen still played great. So, give him his flowers. And like you said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Shots just didn't fall. It wasn't your night. You're going to get that in a game of basketball and get those jitters out before the playoffs. I'm not glad it happened, but sometimes a loss gets you back in the gym, especially if you're a bench player or role player. You work out a little harder. You practice a little. You get your foot in the court. You dig a little deeper, and it shows that you can be beat. And I think this is a humbling loss.
I don't think it's the end of the world, Jordan. And I think
a decent Eastern Conference opponent. But somebody we're not going to struggle with in the playoffs.
No, I mean, and I saw people, Magic fans, we want the Cavs in the first round. No, the fuck you don't.
No,
you don't. We have outscored the Magic this season by 54 points in our 4 games, Jordan. 54 points, Jordan. We're not scared of the Magic. We had an off game shooting in the fourth quarter. Evan Mobley didn't play. Trust me, we would love to see the Magic in the first round. Kenny Atkinson would have a field day with the Magic in the first round. But Jordan, our next 5 games, a West Coast swing, Jordan.
Yes.
At Clippers, at Sacramento, at Phoenix, and at Utah this week, Jordan. This should be an interesting week, dude. I think 2-2 would be solid.
I see 3-1, but I do want to reverse a little bit. The game against Memphis, Doug. You look at Lamont drop 40 plus, and Cleveland still beat him swiftly. So take solace that we went against a upper echelon Western Conference opponent where their best player went off the game before that, and we handled business. So that's another reason why I'm not hitting the freak out button. But you say 2-2, I say 3-1.
I just think West Coast swings are tough. That's all. Yeah, so 2-2 for me, 3-1 for you. I would much prefer the 3-1. Trust me, I would much prefer that. I just think there's going to be some rest days in there, especially with the West Coast travel. Quick shout out to everybody, 1474 live viewers. Thank you. You guys continue to show up for us, and we really appreciate that. Jordan, Cavs are they're in a solid spot. They're 7.5 up on the Celtics. They're a half game up on OKC for the best record in the league. We're sitting in a good spot, dude. We're still fine. We're you know what? You have to lose, Jordan, to start a new win streak, and we can look at it that way. You know, we've got how many games left? Let me look. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 games left. Tomorrow night starts the West Coast swing. Yeah, let's get another win streak here before the season ends out, and get some guys some rest here late, and let's be ready for that first round series when it starts. So let's transition, Jordan. State of the program for the Dayton Flyers and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Jordan, I'm going to start with Ohio State here just to give them a little kudos. I appreciate them not going to one of these tournaments. I appreciate them sitting out one of these tournaments, Jordan. There needs to be a focus on next year. There is no stakes in these tournaments. There is no reward for winning these games and these tournaments at this point. If you don't make the NCAA tournament, Jordan, your season's over, in my opinion. It should be over, especially in the NIL era, the transfer portal era. There's just no gain to me for doing this. You need to regroup. Who's going to be on my roster next year? Who's hitting the portal? Who are we recruiting? Where are NIL dollars? This should all be getting put together now, Jordan, because the transfer portal opens in a week. So let me transfer that over to the Dayton Flyers, who took an NIT bid. And if you look at their NIT bracket, it's winnable. But there's so many issues with the Dayton Flyers right now, Jordan. Anthony Grant has plateaued, in my opinion, as the head coach of this team. We have been to the NCAA tournament 2 times in his 8-year tenure. It's not good enough. The program has set forth certain goals that they want this program to achieve, and routinely we have failed to meet those goals, Jordan. That, to me, is grounds to be fired. How do you continue to get your job when you don't meet the goals set out by your athletic department? Can you answer that for me? How does that happen? And if you tell me that Anthony Grant's a good fucking guy, fuck off, because I understand he's a great human being. But great human beings have to win football or basketball games, and he does that only to a certain point. We are not making NCAA tournaments, Jordan. We are not winning the A-10. We are not even getting to the A-10 championship routinely in tournament time. It's not good enough, Jordan, and I think that this program and this university needs a reset and a rebuild. Everybody's worried about, the players are all leave. The players are all leave. No shit. That's what happens when you fire a coach and you rebuild your program. And there has to be a bad season or 2 in between to set you back up for prosperity going forward. And I don't know why Dayton fans are all old and curmudgeon and stuck in their ways. Oh, he's a great guy. He wins us 20 games a year. We're playing the NIT. Are you insane? Are you actually insane? The goal every season is to win your conference, Jordan, and win a game or 2 in the NCAA tournament. Do I expect Dayton to win the national championship? No. Do I think they could be a round of 32 Sweet 16 team, every couple years? Yeah, but I do believe they should be in the tournament every year, or if not every other year. That's not a shit ton to ask for when you have a program with Dayton's resources and their backing. The fans deserve better. The program deserves better. I don't know how everybody doesn't see this, but I expect more, and we're not getting it. I don't think Anthony Grant's going to be fired. I think people are fine with this just being the status quo, and I think it sucks. Yes, Roger, Anthony Grant should be on the hot seat. Is he on the hot seat? Probably not, because this program and this athletic department are a bunch of damn. You know the word. It doesn't matter. All right, Jordan, any thoughts there on what I just ranted?
Well, let me start.
Don't tell me he's a good guy. Don't you dare tell me he's a good guy.
I'm a good guy, but if I don't win games, I'm out.
Whoa.
No,
we wouldn't be doing this show together if you were a good guy. We wouldn't be doing this show together if you were a good guy.
But no, let me start at the top. I have a different feeling about the NIT tournament than you do. Do I respect that Ohio State didn't go? Yes. I was happy to see UD go, because I think this is evaluation for his job, Doug. I think this is a 100% evaluation for his job.
We just had 30 games of an evaluation. Why the fuck do we need 3 more in the NIT?
I just feel that way. I just feel that way. because you could say that, he lost in overtime, this and that. I'm playing devil's advocate. This is not what I believe. I believe Anthony Grant should be fucking gone. So let me start by that statement. And then let me explain how I feel about the NIT. I believe the NIT, for a lot of teams, especially Dayton, is an evaluation of not only your talent, it's also a talent show. Like you just said, the transfer portal is going to be open here soon. This is a talent show, Doug. If you can show that you're better than the other teams that were outside looking in, it could persuade. You can laugh at me all you want. It could persuade recruits to come towards you. Anybody that's on a borderline, anybody that hasn't fully committed, anybody that has a chance to come to the portal. Doug, every game is a tryout.
Why would I ever go to a team unless they were paying me a fortune who's in the NIT instead of the NCAA tournament, Jordan? That is terrible recruiting strategy. Terrible.
I'm not saying that's
why would I go to the NIT? Why would I be happy that the team I want to commit to is playing the NIT for the fourth fucking time in 8 years? Why would I like that? That's insane, buddy.
Versus not playing at all.
I wouldn't be going to that school either way then. This isn't a great recruiting tool.
I'm not saying it's a great recruiting tool. I'm saying if you're outside looking in the recruiting department and athletic department, you're not going to turn down the chance to play more games.
You should.
In an NIT, also there's money involved. There is money that the University of Dayton can gain from going to NIT, Doug. It's dollars and cents everywhere. You want the transfer portal, you want more money. That's where the state of the program is, Doug. We're at the fucking bottom of the barrel.
Okay, but don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it with the NIT bullshit. Then just tell us what it is. That Dayton's the bottom of the barrel program right now, and they should be excited they're in the NIT. Is what you're trying to say? No,
I don't think.
And that's not good enough for me. And that's the problem. Is it's not good enough for me, and it's not good enough for a majority of this fan base. And that's the problem. Is the other majority of the fan base, or the other half of the fan base, thinks it is good enough. That's the problem.
I'm on the side of the fence with we grew up with a parent named Richard Oldham, lifelong UD guy, lifelong Flyer guy, and he says it's not fucking good enough. And I agree with it. I agreed with him earlier today on Facebook. We reached out and talked about it. But yeah, Doug, it's not good enough. It's not. Compared to where Anthony Grant was before COVID and the woulda, shoulda, coulda been season that was shut down from us, he's never regained that form.
Listen to this, Jordan. He had Deron Holmes, NBA first round pick, Tumani Kamara, one of the best role players in the NBA right now for the Blazers, Jalen Crutcher, Kobe Brea, sixth man for Kentucky basketball, Kobe Elvis, starting guard for the Oklahoma Sooners, who's in the tournament. He had 4 guys who have gone on to better themselves at the program, and he could not do anything with those 4 guys on the same team. Anthony Grant, yeah, he recruits some good players every now and then, but what he doesn't do is get it done in the end game. His adjustments are weak. His offense is putrid, and this year even the defense was dog shit. So I'm sorry. It's time for Anthony Grant to go. The state of the program, we're an NIT team. You're right. What you said was correct. We are an NIT team, and that's as good as it's going to be. Let's talk about Ohio State real quick before we move to news and notes. Have you changed your mindset? Should Diebler be the coach next season, or should he be fired? Because they haven't made the tournament. They haven't made the tournament in a while either.
3 consecutive years. Diebler's got to go. He hasn't won the locker room. They haven't responded in close games because statistically, Doug, this wasn't a terrible team. This was just not a good team to win close games. And I know that can be, well, you still lost. Yeah, they still fucking lost the game. Yeah. They're still terrible. They're not a terrible roster. I just don't think they're coached correctly. They do have some, we do have some size issues that can be easily addressed by the Ohio State program. But, it's got to start with clearing out the coach. That's where I love they didn't go to the NIT program because this is a team that has to be evaluated, starting with the coach all the way down to the assistants and even some of the players. I think we're gonna see 3 or 4 guys go, But Doug didn't make the tournament the last 3 years. That's okay. Go and succeed somewhere else. Go find your footing. It's not here at Ohio State. Bring in a coach. I think they go the veteran route. I don't think they go with a young guy again. I think you got to go probably with an established name. And, I would wait till the NCAA tournament was over and see who wants to be where.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the state of the program between these two schools. Jordan, let's talk a little news and notes before we get out of here today. Should we continue to jinx FC Cincinnati? Should we continue to go down that road?
No.
What do we want to do here?
Take me down to the road.
Okay, Jordan.
I can't talk about the other ones.
Yeah, we're no longer talking about the team that plays hockey in the state of Ohio, because ever since we started talking about them, they have been atrocious at hockey. So we're not going to talk about them anymore. Jordan, we're 4 games into the season. FC Cincinnati not playing fantastic soccer right now. What are your thoughts?
No, I think I'm going to kind of echo myself with other programs. This is a team that is not gelled together. They have individual talent, and they have the legs to get it done, Doug. But this is it has not come together as a complete package yet. So I'm not ready to hit the panic button, as we talked off air before the program started tonight. You did walk me back from that ledge. It's still fuck Katie Blackburn, but you walked me back on this ledge. Yeah, I'm gonna say it, but it's got to be said. We'll see if we get a defense, but that's Thursday's program. But
I got to figure out how to get an F-bomb counter on this show. Where can I find an F-bomb counter? Can somebody teach me how to do that on StreamYard?
But
continue.
But yeah, FC is going to be fine. They just got to gel. This is a team that doesn't look like a team. They're streaky, but it's not consistent.
No, I'm with you there, Jordan. Saturday they play Atlanta United FC. Atlanta United FC. They are 1-1-2. FC Cincinnati's 2-0-2 with 6 points to Atlanta's 4 points. We'll talk about that game a little bit more on Thursday. On Thursday. Jordan, let's talk NIT real quick. I know we kind of mentioned it before. Are you interested in the NIT at all? I know we talked about it because of UD, but are you going to watch any of these games? How are you feeling about the NIT?
I'm always going to tune in when I can. Like I said, some of these teams were just outside looking in, and some of these teams are up and coming. So I like to see where the talent goes, and hopefully, Doug, some of the better players that come out of this will decide to come to either Ohio State or a couple other programs technical difficulty that we want to see them in. Maybe we'll see some of these
March Madness
NIT
gets
players.
most of the attention. The National Invitation Tournament, better known as the NIT,
You're absolutely killing me with
has
this
its
NIT
own
stuff.
legacy.
I think here's Jordan. Let me look at it. I think Dayton legitimately could win this whole tournament. There's not a lot of good teams in this tournament.
Does that save Anthony Grant's job?
I hope not. That's the problem, though, is does Dayton want to be there, Jordan? I think that's the actual issue. Does Dayton want to show up and play in this tournament? And we're going to find out very quick. They play what? They start tomorrow night? Dayton plays Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. We're going to find out very quickly if Dayton wants to be in this tournament. Florida Atlantic, they are blah at best. The real travesty here, Jordan, is the Miami of Ohio situation. And let's talk about that for a second. Kent State.
You've got to cut that off.
They're in the NIT too.
What?
That leaves the rest of the field
There's a
with
recording going
handpicked
about the NIT in this.
Oh, was there? Shit. I'm sorry.
There was.
Okay, good to know. Why didn't you say that before?
I thought you heard it.
No, I don't know. And now my shit's all messed up. What happened? Oh, no. The NIT fucked us over, Jordan. No. Oh, well. All right. Sorry, guys. We made it so far without it. Fuck the NIT, as I said. But let's talk about the situation with Miami of Ohio and Kent State. Miami of Ohio finished second in the MAC. They put in a bid to host games in the NIT, Jordan, and they weren't picked. But Kent State, who they beat 3 times during the year and who didn't make the MAC championship, got put into the tournament field. What the hell, Jordan? What is up with that situation?
I don't know. Somebody's got some blackmail somewhere. That
insane, dude. Insane.
That, keep your head held high, Miami. That's Miami of Ohio. That's some bullshit. That
100%.
I don't even know what to think about that.
I felt bad for them in the way that shaked out. And I just, wanted to quickly shout out Miami, Ohio. They had a good season, a great season. They deserve to be playing in the NIT tournament. But one more quick shout out before we get out of here. Sorry for the technical difficulties there at the when I was showing the NIT bracket. We know the NIT is a rinky-dink ass tournament, so I shouldn't have even brought it up. The Ohio State women, Jordan,
blame me. I produced that.
They ended up with a 4 seed in the tournament, in the women's tournament, Jordan. They will start with Montana State. The winner of that game will play the winner of Tennessee and South Florida. So quick shout out to the Ohio State women. Hold it down for the basketball programs at Ohio State. And then last but not least, Jordan, Reds opening day countdown. We are 10 days away. Quick shout out to Sparky Anderson, who wore number 10 when he was the manager of the Cincinnati Reds, a legend in his own right. Jordan, any thoughts there on any of the things we talked about before we get out of here?
No, I hope the Reds don't have any knick-knack injuries going into the regular season, and these 10 days need to come fast.
You're damn right they do, Jordan. Last thoughts before we get out of here, guys. 1627 live viewers. Sorry again for the technical difficulties there. Again, the NIT, it will screw anybody over. But guys, if you are a fan of this show, please go over to our YouTube channel, OH, lowercase sports, and then uppercase all talk, all one word. Go to our YouTube channel. We got 604 followers or subscribers right now. We'd really appreciate you guys if you hit that subscribe button. And also check out the Red Hot Reds podcast, a show that is also brought to you by Ohio Sports Talk. Ricky and Roger are doing a fantastic job. They released an episode just the other day covering the Reds bullpen. We're going to link that in our show notes. Guys, they also are lining up a lot of good guests. We're going to promote those guests coming on their show shortly within the next couple weeks. So those guys are absolutely crushing it. Please give them a watch. They deserve it. And they're going to be starting up potentially another program with us in the next couple weeks. So another exciting little tidbit there we won't get too much into. But Jordan, 57 minutes, man. We tackled a live bracket. We talked Bengals. We talked Cavs. We talked state of the programs. We hit the news and notes, buddy. Hell of a show tonight. Absolutely killed it, man. Any last thoughts?
No, we appreciate 1639 live viewers right now. We appreciate everybody that's been there. Like Douglas said, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Interact with us on Twitter. We're always pretty active there. Facebook's Wild Wild West, but good.
He really,
we really don't do much business there. But definitely come see us on X. See us on YouTube. We'd love to chit chat. We're on a bunch of different platforms. And Douglas, I know you wanted to talk a little bit of business and shout out to some business owners potentially before we signed off on tonight.
Yep, and I thank you for bringing that up, guys. Look, I know it's been a long show tonight, 58 minutes, but if you are seeing this and you do have a small business or you run a small company and you want to get your brand out there a little bit more, if you'd like to get, a live audience viewing a little bit more of your brand, we'd love for you to come on the show and promote your brand. We'd love to be an ambassador for your brand. Jordan and I are working really hard here to grow Ohio Sports Talk and make it a show where we can have sponsors, where we can have brands come on and support the show and sponsor the show. And we're looking for partners. And we would love to have fans on this show, sponsoring the show. So if you have a small company, you have anything like that, check us out. We would love to talk to you. ohio.sports.talk35@gmail.com is the best way to get a hold of us for inquiries. So again, I know this has been a long show. I know a lot of people are here at the end with us, but if you are interested, please reach out to us. We appreciate it, guys. This has been Ohio Sports Talk. I am your host, Doug. That's the coach, Jordan Maxson, and we will see you Monday night live at 9 o'clock. Until next time.